What's up, Retro Duelists? So this past Saturday was the RBET Moreno Valley. As you guys are seeing on the screen here, we had about 200 people show up for an IRL Edison tournament that was Konami sanctioned. All right, that's a big thing. Konami sanctioned event. 200 people flew, drove, or already lived in the area, like me, and came out to the event. As you guys can see, a lot of really good players were there, as I'm pretty certain you guys have also heard. There was quite a few good players that flew out, Fraser Smith being one of the most notable, and I believe Fitz were two of the more notable, I believe, at least on YouTube or in Discord. So they showed up, as well as a bunch of other people, and yeah, it was a whole boatload of fun, very exhausting. It was a little unfortunate that the AC could not keep up with the amount of people that were in the building, so we all definitely went back to our roots of being terrible sweaty nerds. I know I had nipple puddles come, I believe it was round 3, where I remember I was playing my opponent. I went to stretch, and then I looked down, and mind you, I'm wearing a black t-shirt on this day, and I looked down and I was like, I have puddles under my nipples, and this sucks. So yeah, it was a very hot, a little musty. It also did not help that we had Hurricane Hillary coming through, and the humidity in the area. For us Californians, we don't deal with humidity that well, so it did not help that we had to deal with that. But aside from that, the event was an overwhelming success. It was a whole load of fun. I definitely think that I am most likely going to be going to RBET Orlando. Playing in person for these big events is way more fun than playing online tournaments. I do have a video coming out soon of why I prefer to play and prefer to record IRL matches rather than do online matches. That video will be coming out soon, hopefully this week. And yeah, so enough gushing about the RBET. You know, it was fantastic. The event staff was fantastic. People there were overwhelmingly nice, willing to just chat it up, talk about anything. You know, got a couple new friends. You know, it was an overwhelming success. So when we go and talk about the RBET and my success there, this is also the picture. This is me right there. Boop, 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 round 1. Right there in the right there. But before we go into anything else, this was, as everyone knows or should know, it was for the SJC Jump Dark and Dragon. This was what we were all playing for, and I had a shot of making it, but you know, we'll get into the reasons why I didn't make it later, in a bit. But yeah, I'm still a little sad, still beating myself up a little bit about it, and hopefully I'll be able to get over that soon. But yeah, let's go ahead and go into the decks that I was playing against in this event. So I was playing Quick Draw. Let me actually go ahead and pull up my deck list from the event. I was playing pretty much a very standard Quick Draw deck. There was a couple cards in there that were very techy for me. If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you guys will see a lot of the tech that I was playing for it. So this here, back down. This is the deck that I took with. All right, as you can see, pretty standard. I mean, the Treeborn Frog is definitely not something that's standard. The double Titanial, most people only run 1. I run 2. It did come up a lot, and I mean a lot, where they would get rid of the first one and then I would summon another Lone Fire, or I'd get it back off a Drill Warrior. And then I would go ahead and summon the second one, and then they'd be a little dumbfounded. The other tech that I had was the Divine Wrath. This actually did not come up. I don't think at any instance I drew it where I needed it. It was there as like a nice little pocket, like a little tech card to go and help me win a game. But anytime this card I drew it, I was already winning so hard that it didn't come up at any point, which I'm fine with. I still think I'm going to keep it in. It's a very, very good card to go ahead and just shut down Absolute and many other problem cards in the format. As you can see, I am still running the one Smashing Ground in the main. It did come up. It came up, I want to say, in about 30 to 35% of my games in round one, where I would draw into it, and it was just an easy way to go ahead and get rid of cards that were a problem, especially recruiters. When I go into which decks I played, you guys will be able to tell which ones that was. And then the Yadas actually came up quite a bit. Got a lot of good 1-for-1s, really nice. And yeah, the side helped a lot. The double soul exchange was really nice, and so the soul release actually came in clutch in a lot of my games that I played. When it came up, I drew it at the right time, if I like, and then I was able to just go ahead and power through and win the game off of the soul release, actually, to where like I would soul release, and then within the next 2 turns the game was over. So let's go into the decks that I played against. First, where's Times New Roman? Where is it? I scroll over it. Oh no. Times New Roman. Let's go ahead and set this. So, round 1. I went against Diva Hero. He was playing a little bit more of the Hero B package. And unfortunately for him, he really just drew terrible. I believe game one, I think he only saw like Stratos, Alias, and then he never really got a solidified back row up before I started just pushing in for ridiculous amount of damage. I believe in all 3 of our games, I got Titanial out first turn, which pretty hard to beat. And I think I also got Drill Warrior out like turn 1 or turn 2 each of those games. It was ridiculous. Going into game 2, I don't remember the specific scenario that did happen, but I know I misplayed, and I would have had game, I think, a turn before, but I didn't see the line, and then he eventually ended up winning that game. So we go into game 3. He again doesn't really draw much. I believe he draws I think he actually opened Gilman, which felt really terrible for him. So he normal summons Gilman, and then I think I had like a set Sangin or something like that, and he beat into it, and then my whole game plan turned on because I got quick draw in my hand, and then it was a wrap. So round 1, pretty easy win. It didn't feel great because my opponent really didn't get to play. So it is what it is sometimes. And then going into round 2, it was versus Dragons. I'm not entirely certain whether it was Dragon Turbo or not, but I know it was Dragon. I know because he had 5 head on the field, and he was gonna game me, but instead he misplayed and I won. So going into game 1, oh no, that actually, yeah, that was game 1 actually. Holy crap! So game 1, I have Drill Warrior going. I'm constantly poking in for damage, and he eventually, I believe, he compulses my Drill Warrior. I believe I grabbed like quick draw, or I grabbed something out of the out of the graveyard. I can't remember, but I eventually, all I had was on board, like the later stages of the game, I had Titanial in attack, I had Treeborn in defense, and I had a Dandy token in defense as well. On his turn, when I passed it to him, his 5-headed dragon was going to come out, and I believe he also had I believe he had a red med on the field. Actually, no, he did not have a red med on the field. So he had the 5-headed dragon out, he had Future Fusion and 1 back row. He goes to his turn, 5-headed comes out, and then oh, that's what it was. He returned from a different dimension. So he paid half his life, he brought out a red med, he brought out 2 wyverns, and then he used the red med effect to bring out the 3000 blue dragon. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Ice Dragon, like that. I'm not entirely certain. But he gets us all on board. He should have game. I believe I'm at 30. Oh yeah, I'm at 3,500. I think I used a shell to go ahead and get a shell into hand. So he goes ahead and uses both the wyverns to go ahead and attack into both the token and the Treeborn. And then he uses the 3,000 blue dragon to swing over my Titanial for 200. And then he makes the worst mistake possible. He swings in with the 5-headed dragon first. Now, little did he know I had Gores. So I slap the Gores down. Gores in defense. I have a 5,000 token in defense. Oh yeah. And then he kills the Gores with the red band that he still hadn't attacked with. And then he had to pass turn. So his red med, his 2 wyverns get banished again. I draw, I make a quick draw, and then I go ahead and half attack, swing in for direct 12, and then swing over his blue dragon for a game, because I believe he was at 2,200 going into that because he used the return. And then pretty much game going into game 2, he was very on tilt because the second that happened, when he attacked with 5-headed first, he was like, that was a rookie mistake, I've met up, and that's going to cost me the game. And it did. And then he was kind of on tilt game 2, as I think we all would be. And that one was just a very easy easy sweep up. So we started the day 2-0. Felt great, felt amazing. And then going into round 3, we went against Diva Zombies. I feel like Diva Zombies is a really hard matchup for me because they can go ahead and push for so much damage so quickly that like the control nature of my deck just can't keep up, unfortunately. So it was an uphill battle. I believe I can't remember who. It was 1-1. One of us won game 1, one of us won game, or the other guy, I won game 1, or he won game 1. It was we went into game 3, and this one actually required a lot of brain power, and it was probably one of my toughest matchups of the day. And we eventually went into game 3. I believe our game 2 actually took probably about 20-25 minutes. Game 1 I think probably took about 20 minutes as well. These were very grindy games. So going into game 3, he's able to get just a massive board on the field, and he passes to my turn. I do have quick draw. I have quick draw, Dandy in hand. I can't remember if I had anything else in hand. I think I had 3 or 4 cards, and the quick draw Dandy was like the only play that I had. So it was the thing that took a lot of time to kind of think of is that, like, what do I make? He had a Stardust and like a few other monsters on board. Like, do I go for the Drill War? Do I go for the safe play? However, I was low on life points. I believe I was at, he was lower than me. I think he was at like 2,000. I was at like 4,000. Do I make the Drill Warrior, go for the safe play? Do I make Turbo Warrior, try and swing over Stardust? Do I make Nitro Warrior and try and swing into one of his monsters? I think I had used the spell that turn, so he was at 38. Do I go for the Junk Archer, banish one and swing in? I was a very difficult choice for me to make. I eventually did go into the Nitro Warrior. I'd eventually tried to swing in. I entered battle. I swung, he mirror forced, and then time on the round was called. And because I was higher on life points, I won. I apologized profusely to the guy. I did not want to win like that. He was gonna win. He should have won, and you know, things unfortunately worked out that way for me. And you know, if it was the other way around, it would, you know, it happens. It's fine. So yeah, going into round 3, that's what we played against, and it was probably my toughest match of the day. And in all honesty, it was a very good game. Fantastic. I loved every second of it. Very exhausting. Now, this is also the round where I eventually looked down at my shirt and saw that I had sweat puddles under my nipples, which not flattering at all. Let's see, going into round 4. This is where we pick up our first loss versus Blackwing. This was one of the very few Blackwings players that I saw at the event. I was actually very surprised that I didn't see too many Blackwings players. However, I did see a lot of Diva deck. They were literally everywhere. So Blackwings happens. I believe he wins game 1. I win game 2. Going into game 3, it's a control battle, and he's able to swing it. He's able to hit me. What was it? Sirocco and Bora for pump damage over like a Raikou, which really sucked. But you know, it is what it is, unfortunately, and it hurt a lot. I think I ate one of those and like direct attack from something. So I was very low, but I was able to keep control of the board for the most part. And it eventually turned into a stalling match where I think we like passed her for like 5 turns each. It was ridiculous until eventually I believe he either drew into the, I don't know which one he drew into. I think he drew into the Whirlwind, and I had 2 set Raikous. So he summoned Sirocco, or activated Whirlwind, summoned Sirocco, got the Bora, and then swung in for game. And that was it. So, you know, I'm not mad about that one. That's a loss. It's gonna happen. I have a terrible matchup versus Blackwings. Piercing as a bitch, and yeah, so I wasn't too upset about that one. It sucked. It was what it was. I also misplayed earlier with an intent to play card. I meant to play Soul Exchange, but instead I accidentally played. I like revealed Smashing Ground, and they called Judge over, and then they were like, yeah, because you showed it, it was intent to play, so you have to play it. And I was like, all right, fine, cool, whatever. It is what it is. And yeah, that was like the one display from that game for me. Going into round 5, this is where you pick up another loss, unfortunately. It was versus, I think it was Hero Beats or Diva Hero. Put a question mark there. I don't even know, because he had Prisma in it, and it just, I don't know. It was weird. All right, he won. Game 1. We made it to game 3. I can't remember who won game 1. I can't remember who won game 2. But game 3, I was going first. Or no, he went first. But I think I won game 2. And I got absolutely sacked. And I mean, sacked to the utmost degree. So, you know, Dust shoots one hell of a card. So Dust shoots me. He takes the quick draw out of my hand. I have 2 monsters, 2 spells. I believe I have Raigeki Break, Heart of Avarice, oh, and it was Sangan and Raiko. Okay, so this is the 4 cards in my hand. Wait, there was another. Oh, I think it was. I think I had the Divine Wrath as well. That's 5 cards. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So I like shuffle my hand a little bit. I set the Raiko and I pass. He draws and he goes main phase. He goes Nobleman across out. Sucks a lot. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I believe he summons like Diva and builds Android and then swings them. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll take 24. Fine. Next turn I draw. I don't remember what I drew. I think I drew Shell. So I sent the Sangan. I should have summoned it in an attack. I should have did something that wasn't set it. But I also wasn't expecting what was going to happen next, which I'm pretty certain most of you guys know exactly what's about to happen. Where I pass the turn, he draws, standby main, Nobleman across out. Like, all right, cool. I mean, it's fantastic that you drew both. Great. And then he swings in again. I think I try and Raigeki Break it. I pitch the shell. He solemns it. So I'm like, okay, dope. And then he's like, in phase, DD corrodes shell. I'm like, dope. I draw. It's an irrelevant draw. And he eventually just wins the game right there. There's nothing I can do in the game 3. I didn't even get to play the game. It was very, very unfortunate. So going into round 6, this is where we go again. Go against Rescue Cat. This wasn't even really a match. And I don't mean this in a rude way whatsoever, but it was a very, very relatively quick 2-0. It was stalled out because I don't really have anything to swing over his Catastor. So I just walled up and just constantly kept on poking him with Drill Warrior. And then I would have Titania out, so he couldn't really deprison it, or he couldn't really do much to it. I think game 1, he like wind blasted it a bunch, but I just kept on drawing quick draw, so I was able to just constantly just keep on reeking it back out over and over and over and over again. And it was just not a fun game for him. Yeah, I win game 1, I win game 2, and I win game 2 with I took a picture of it and I feel terrible for doing it, but this was my winning board. All right, this was the winning board. I had 2 Drill Warriors already in rotation, so they came back. I grabbed the material to make another Drill Warrior, and then I just halved, swung in for game. Yeah, that is how I won. Ridiculous. I've never done that before. Never done it. This is probably never gonna happen again. But it happened. And oh my lord. Did it feel great. So yeah, there was that. Round 6. So at this point, we're X2 still alive in the tournament. There's still a very good shot of us making top 16. Going into round 7. This is where the heartbreak happens. So after round 6, I stepped outside. I think I got some tacos, or there was a taco truck there, and I was chatting up with a couple of local guys, and me and one of my other buddies were out there. We were playing in the main event, and we never heard them start the next round. We thought we had a couple more minutes. So like we went back inside and they were already, I think, 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes into the round. So we panic, we rush to the where the listings were at, where you're supposed to be seated. We get there, we run to our seats. I'm a couple seconds late, and I believe it's 3 minutes. You get a game loss. So I got a game loss. I got there seconds too late. My opponent immediately raised his hand. It was like, sat here at this time, and then that's a game. And he was like, so what's gonna happen? And the judge came over and he was like, that's a game lost. I was like, shit. All right, I think I can do this. I'm versus RBET. I normally have a good matchup, but because I'd shown up late and whatnot, I was a little rushed and I was a little panicked, and he won the one game that we needed to play. And yeah, that was the end of our run on the day. It was very, very bittersweet. I'm still beating myself up about it, like up and still like right now. It's not a pleasant memory. I remember when we were talking to a couple of the buddies that I eventually did make it to top 8. They were talking about the math and stuff like that, and I eventually did need to like step outside. So I was just like, I can't hear this right now. All it's doing is bringing back the feeling that it could have been me. It honestly could have been me. That should have been me in top 16, possibly making the top 8. I was playing very well that day, and I was doing the quick draw dream of actually doing really well at an event in 2023. So yeah, that ended our run. I immediately dropped after that and just hung around and supported my homies and just hung out. That was all I could really do. So yeah, that was the end to the story of our RBET Moreno Valley run. However, I had, like I said before, I think I said in this video, it did spark that I do want to go to RBET Orlando. I want to participate there. I want to do really well there. And I want to show that I can actually consistently do well at live events. Online events, but live events is definitely where I'm trying to be the best I can be at. So if you guys hadn't seen, these were the maths for top 8. One of my friends, I'll go ahead and Yagusriel, I don't know his handle, and I'll put it in the description down below. He's going to be having some mats released later this year, hopefully soon. But this was the mat setup that are the top 8 mats, 8 of 8, and they are beautiful. He'll tell you they're not. He's like, there's imperfections, but that's because he made them and whatnot. But they look beautiful. They look stunning. I would gladly have bought these. I would have paid easily anywhere from like $200 to $400 for one of these if I could. So then, yeah, that was like pretty much about it. I made some trades. These ones down here in the bottom right are cards that I picked up at the event. This is like one of my other buddies, Justin's, and this is one of my other buddies, Danny. This is all stuff we picked up at the event. Kind of nice, pretty dope. Nice stuff to add to the collection. And then when I walked out to my car, this was someone put this on my car. I don't know who, but when I walked out there, I went into my car and I was like, what the hell is that Yu-Gi-Oh card there? And I like hopped out, looked, and I saw it, and I was like, oh shoot, who in the world put this here? And then one of my buddies later around told me that they did it, so it was pretty funny. But yeah, RBET Moreno Valley was amazing, awesome. There was a lot of there was a lot of diva decks. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of decks. A lot of miracle fusion, or yeah, miracle fusion decks. It was just, it was crazy. I don't know if maybe the format might change again soon once people start running oppression the main again. That'll probably like cut down a lot on the diva decks quite a bit. And yeah, I'll probably do a little bit more of an analysis on like the decks that I saw, and maybe I can get some information on like the percentages of decks that were at the event. You know, in Keegan's latest video, he said he would send it out to content creators, so I might hit him up and see if I can go ahead and get one of those lists of all the stats and stuff for the event. So this video's gone on for way too long. We're gonna go ahead and cut it here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you know, if you guys were there, please let me know what you guys thought of the event down in the comments. And if you guys are going to RBET Orlando, maybe I'll see you guys there. But I will catch you guys later. Deuces.